Welcome, Virgo. This is your weekly Teroscope reading for July the 25th through to the 31st, 2016. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we begin, thank you. Thank you for all the love and the support and the positive energy that you send my way each and every day. I do send it right back at you, wishing for love and joy and happiness to be in your path forward. So let's see what the cards have to tell us for what energy surrounds us this week in order to have the best of the best in our worlds. So we start with the Seven of Cups. This could actually go a whole bunch of ways, so I'm going to pull out a couple more cards here. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Queen of Cups. And we have the Death card. Ooh. So some very strong cards out on the board. We're going to set that deck of cups aside for now. We'll get some more out. The Death card is over the Three of Swords. It's crossing over the Three of Swords. So with the Seven of Cups, it's slightly about, prioritizing your life. That's part of it. But I think we are trying to look at, we're moving away from heartbreak. We are wanting to bring in the liberation into our life, the freedom into our life, the happiness and joy into our life. We start with the Seven of Cups. We'll go back there now. So the Seven of Cups, it could be that you want clarity in your life on certain things. There could have been all kinds of thoughts coming at you at once last week, because this is our new week going forward. So I would have to think that there's been a lot of soul searching, or a lot of looking at our routines, looking at the people who surround us, because this is really, I think we're figuring out the good, bad, and the ugly here. With the Three of Swords and the Death card crossing over it, following it, I think we're really figuring out what hinders us in our life, what can move us forward in our life. And we are maybe reprioritizing our life, our routines, the people that we associate with, the activities that we take part in. And trying to really come to a new judgment. We have the Queen of Cups on the other side of that, of what's best for us. So it's almost like we need to show ourselves respect and love and compassion, and realizing our beauty this week. Although with this card where it's at, it also says your beauty does shine this week. So the more that you can convince yourself that you are as beautiful and as magnificent as this card says you are, the more you will attract in, I think, good situations in your life. You'll have clarity in your life. You will understand where you need to put your priorities, where you need to put your energy or your time or your resources in order to step forward in the proper way. Our underlying energy is the Queen of Wands, so we're really going to have a diplomatic approach to things in our life this week. She is the quiet one in the deck. She is a beautiful, creative energy. So expect to have those creative moments, those flash of maybe genius in what to create, what to do, who to become, what you are creating in your life, how you are creating yourself in your life, the world around you, the immediate surroundings. She's like a judge, okay? Where she doesn't have clarity, she's going to ask the questions. She's going to do the research. She's going to understand. And so I think you are too. This is not something that is going to be taken lightly this week, with your routine and who you are involved in, how you get liberation in your life, how you feel freedom in your life. And it's almost like you are demanding it in your life now. It could take you back to, with the heartache, Three of Swords being there right in the middle, it could take you back to a very painful time in your life to show you your own worth, so that you understand that you are beautiful, that you are empowered, that you need to love yourself. I do believe with the Queen of Cups where it's sitting, it's going to enhance any, you know, even if you just start every morning saying, I am beautiful, I'm courageous, I am empowered, I'm ready to go forward. It's going to attract, it's going to raise your vibration and attract even more beauty into your life. Your overriding card is the Seven of Pentacles. Really, you are looking at what you are cultivating and how it applies to going forward. So the Seven of Cups was our very first card. I think it's reprioritizing things in our life. It could be our routine, it could be our friendships, it could be the situations that we put ourselves in throughout our daily routine. But we are really asking ourselves, what are we cultivating through each and every experience? And is it something that we want to cultivate going forward? Now, I remember, and I hope I haven't told you this story before, I don't want to be one of those people. But you know, my dad used to rent out to new couples starting out. He'd give them very low rent, and he would help them, you know, get on their feet, save some money for a house or what they needed the money for, you know, get a head start in life. And we had this one couple, I remember when I was a little girl, and I was always out in the garden with my dad. And the woman came out and she said, oh, I'd love to have a garden. So my dad tilled a little piece of land for her and got her stakes and, you know, took her out and she bought her tomato plants and her pepper plants and some seeds. And so he helped her lay out this full garden. And I'm sure I was a part of it because I was always by my dad's side out in the garden. And so as this garden grew, we realized that she had staked up this weed. So she must have pulled the tomato plant or the pepper plant. And she was watering this weed and she staked it. And she would tell us, you know, the one day when we were at the garden, and she said, you know, how beautiful it was. That look at this one, it's growing so much better than the others. And it was the weed. And so my dad had to break it to her that it was, in fact, weed. And he did it in a very nice, compassionate, quiet way so that she wouldn't feel too embarrassed by it. But so she was cultivating the wrong thing in her garden. And sometimes we cultivate the wrong things in our lives by not truly recognizing it for what it is, for not looking at it without the rainbow spectrum glasses on. So what are we cultivating in our life? Is it something we truly want in our life? Is it something that's going to bring value back into our lives? We have the Emperor, another strong card. So we have the Queen of Wands as the underwriting energy. We have the Queen of Cups sitting there, one of our first cards laid, and now we have the Emperor. So it's planning our future forward. Now, the Emperor doesn't plan something and hope that it's going to manifest down the road. He knows it's going to manifest down the road. He's got a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. He's bringing the right people on board. He's using the right energies. He's looking at the time frames. He's looking at how to lay it all out and plan it accordingly so that we're not jumping steps. We're not overseeing certain things, possibilities where we'll have to backtrack. So this is a wonderful energy to look at what you are actually cultivating in your routines in your life, with your relationships, with the situations that you're in, to know the path forward, to use the energy correctly. And we have the Knight of Swords, so there should be a balance in your step, especially as we go into later in the week. We come out into that meadow and we yell charge. We have our sword raised and we yell charge. We are ready to champion a cause. We are ready for success. Failure is not even in our vocabulary. I hope that cause that you are trying to champion is you, is your path forward, is your desires and dreams and goals. We have the Happily Ever After card. And what is that coupled with? It's coupled with the Seven of Swords. So it is prioritizing and it's knowing that we need to leave some things behind in our life. Maybe it's new boundaries within relationships, within situations. Maybe it's taking ourselves out of some things. Maybe it is bringing some new people into our lives, some new situations into our life. But I don't think it's so much a new experience that we're looking at this week, but rather cultivating, not the weed, but all the other tomato plants and the pepper plants and the seeds that we planted. With the Seven of Swords, we're being very picky about what we really want to take on our path forward. The things that are truly going to lead us to our happily ever after. For work and career, we have the Ten of Wands. Overburdened, overburdened. We have this giant sack on our back. And some of the wands in our backpack have new growth, but some of them are deadwood. And so, just like with the Seven of Swords, we need to figure out what the deadwood is, what's weighing us down, what's not allowing us to go forward in the way we want. So when it comes to work, when it comes to career, when it comes to finances, maybe we're just spending our money wrong. Maybe we're not getting value back for the money that we're putting out, that we worked so hard for in the first place, and spending it on things that are not bringing value to us. Maybe the job is not fulfilling. Maybe you would prefer to do something else. If that's the case, sometimes we need that job in order to pay the bills. So we can't just leave a job just because it doesn't suit us. But we could sign up for some kind of charity work. We could start a home-based business based on our talents, our abilities. We could apply for jobs that are more suited to us, to bring us passion, to bring us joy. They are out there. So go in search of them. You could be, if you're in a high stress job, there's just too much on your plate. You need to delegate some of this out. You need to draw a line on what is allowed and what isn't allowed on that desk of yours. You could be taking on too much responsibility, which makes you overburdened, which makes you feel like you can't get anywhere, which makes you kind of like this energy where you're jumping all over the place, not really tackling any task to completion, but rather just skimming over the surface of everything, and everything is still there. So it's really having purpose and strategy to know what you really need to do and what things can be put off, what things can be delegated out. For love, relationships, we have the Strength card. Know what you are worth. Have a belief in yourself, in your love, in the love that you give others. This could be a lot of strength and passion. If you are a very strong person and you know where you are when it comes to love, this is where your passion, your sensuality can flow so beautifully. If you are single, well, we have the Queen of Cups here on the table. So if somebody comes into your life, they're going to point out to you just how beautiful and magnificent you are, and bring attention to you, put you in the spotlight in some way. Or you need to do that to yourself. You need to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you are beautiful and wonderful and courageous and giving and loving and compassionate. To raise your vibration so that the right person comes into your life. The right person is attracted to that energy. This could be about making relationships stronger by growing your belief in the relationship, of looking at the positives in the relationship, not so much the negatives, but the positives. We maybe have to work on the negatives because there is a lot about redesigning and where we are putting our values, or where we are putting value in our life, where we put ourselves in our lives on the priority list, what we are cultivating. So the negatives may have to be looked at, but I think you have a strength. I think you have a beautiful strength this week to get your point across, to get your partner to understand what is needed in your life in order to feel that love and appreciation in order to feel that passion going forward. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.